Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Moletrap here, coming at you with game number 3 of NaDa versus GoRush in the 2005 semifinal of the IOPS OSL. And before we get too much into this, there's something I really need to show you guys. I can't believe I didn't notice this before, but it is very necessary to specify that this is NaDa versus GoRush in the semifinals of the OSL, because I remember I mentioned before that these guys had played recently, but I didn't realize how recently they had played. So, actually, I guess I'll wait and get these guys introduced just to start off with before I kind of show this other side thing that I want to mention. But this is NaDa versus GoRush. GoRush is going to be, NaDa is going to be the purple Terran in the top left-hand corner of the map. There he is. Pentek Kiratel saying GL, both of them GLing each other. And GoRush is going to be the yellow, I'm sorry, blue, I don't know why I said yellow, Zerg in the bottom left-hand corner of the map. Dreams of Balhae. And this map is going to take a little while to get off the ground, I think, because that's what it does. In any case, I really need to show this. Check this out. So these games, these semifinal games, are being played February 18th of 2005. February 18th of 2005. Okay. So check out recent history. I'm gonna put up TLPD here. Look at this. It was just 2 weeks beforehand. This is a year, month, day format. 2 weeks beforehand, when NaDa and GoRush played in the finals of the Big File MSL. And GoRush won 4-2. GoRush obliterated NaDa in those finals. It was a best of 7. Absolutely incredible. So that is the context that's going on right now. But in addition to that, so right now we're looking at it, we're saying, okay, you know, GoRush beat him 4-2, and now GoRush is up 2-0. NaDa just cannot beat GoRush, right? But if we look back, not that far, into January, they had another best of 5, and NaDa beat GoRush 3-2 in that best of 5, because the MSL was a double elimination format, and so they actually played in the winners bracket finals, and NaDa won, and then GoRush went down and beat Zelos, who's another extremely strong Terran who had just beaten Choja, another extremely strong Zerg. GoRush beat Zelos to get to the finals in the double elimination format and beat NaDa 4-2 in the finals. So that is the context going on right now. These two guys have played so many games recently in extremely high level tournament play that it is kind of ridiculous. And now we have NaDa. You know, he's lost most of those games, but just by 1. You know, 4-2 and 2-3. But anyway, so it's kind of crazy. So NaDa has some coming back to do here, but he has beaten GoRush in a best of 5 recently. He's lost the best of 7, but still. Anyway, this is gonna be cray. This is gonna be cray. I'm excited about this game. In any case, this map does take a while to get off the ground because, well, it's literally got a high ground or a separated area on a ridge that you can't get off of, so it usually takes a bit to get up to speed because you're kind of stuck on this island at first. And we do have Choja. Sorry, I was just looking at Zelos versus Choja earlier. I don't know, I had Choja on the brain. GoRush. It is getting a nice little scout in with that Overlord. He's gonna be able to see what's going on, and we've got NaDa building 2 barracks to float over onto. Oh, he's gonna do the bunker rush. He's gonna do the bunker rush. And I think GoRush has spotted this command center, so I think he's gonna expect this possibility. But this is what Boxer did against Yellow on this map, which, by the way, failed miserably. Well, I shouldn't say failed miserably. It's just I should say it failed eventually, because this is kind of interesting. Now he's definitely knows what's coming. He's gone over and he's scouted that command center re-landing, so he knows exactly what is happening right here. Why is he not building a creep cut? Okay, there he is. Never mind. So he's building a creep colony, so he has something to defend against a low ground bunker rush potential. And like we saw in the Boxer game, Boxer versus Yellow, even though that is a ridge, I don't think it is actually a high ground because there was no vision problems. Boxer did not have any problems viewing up to the high ground. And look at this, he's setting up a bunker in a spot where it can hit that second gas, but GoRush is not actually taking that second gas. He's like, I'm one step ahead of you, buddy. Buddy, pal, friend, sir. And actually, he is going to defend that spot. He doesn't want... Oh, that's really interesting. He's actually just going to reposition the bunker into a spot where it must be out of range of the Sunkens, but still within range to hit that gas. So that is really fascinating, actually. That's really, really cool. What an interesting opening for this game. Now, what happened with the Boxer game is he did a lot of harassment against Yellow. And it worked really well as a harassing tool to have this low ground bunker. He killed a lot of drones. Okay, so now he's using the creep colonies to build more creeps so he can build another Sunken there. But that bunker with Marines in it is going to be able to go to work at that colony, so I'm not sure if it's never going to finish, right? Okay, it does finish, and it's going to get 2 or 3 hits off before it dies, so that was a little bit of a waste. A little surprised he did that, knowing it was probably going to die. I mean, it was actually literally being hit by Marine fire. Anyway, the Spire is up now. GoRush has gone for a pretty quick Spire, so this is the counter play that defeated Boxer. Boxer did some good harassment. It was very clever. Boxer accomplished a lot more, frankly, than NaDa has in attacking the drones and killing off the economy there. So far, it's only been 4 drones, I guess, made it into sunks. But then the counterattack was too difficult to fend off because he'd been spending all this money on the low ground and he didn't have anything in the high ground to defend himself. So this, you can see, NaDa has a handful of Marines and just a couple medics, and that last medic popping out is almost going to get picked off. It does get picked off before it gets back to the turret fire. And so NaDa, you know, we could have a very quick third game here, as these Mutalisks may just win the game outright, as they did for Yellow in the counterattack against Boxer. Now, Boxer tried to go for mech follow-up, and NaDa is going for a bio follow-up, so we'll see if that changes anything in this situation. Of course, one of the important things, though, is NaDa is blocking that second gas. He is blocking that second gas from being utilized with that bunker, and so GoRush is going to have to do something about that. Just going in with Mutalisks alone is going to be a difficult task to kill off that bunker. I mean, it'll happen, but he'll probably lose a couple mutas. It's not what he wants to do, but it might be necessary, because if he can do that, then he could build more mutas. And oh, there we go. So the bunker is now, he's going to try and build more sunken colonies and morph those in, and then probably go in with some Mutalisks to do some more attacking as well. He's going to try and build a third colony, too. He is really trying to brute force the Sunkens to try and protect this spot here. Look at that, NaDa jumping out of the bunker, stimming, and then jumping back into the bunker. And he knows if he can get it burning, that's a big deal. Okay, he gets the burning. The bunker goes down. The turrets are there, but turrets cannot attack extractors. So he's going to be able to get that that gas up and running. And that is very important to have that second gas, especially on this map, because you're getting your tech up, you're having to build Mutalisks to have a presence on the map, you know. So the Sunks are going to take out the turrets. The Marines without a bunker are pretty much vulnerable. Now, in the meantime, he has been going over. Okay, this is interesting. 2 starports. Whoa, 2 starports being built over here by NaDa. And yeah, so now those mutas are able to come in and clean up that stuff on the low ground. You know, I'd say it did its job. What did he spend? He spent the cost of the Marines and the medics and the SCV and the bunker and the turrets. Oh, actually, it's a lot of stuff. But he delayed that second gas for like several minutes. Several minutes. That is like a lot of tech units that he does not have because he doesn't have the gas for it. And now we have the Mutalisk harass to follow up a little bit. NaDa with the 2 starports. Is he going to build... excuse me, I was going to say, is he going to build Wraiths? Looks like he's getting a control tower. Now, one control tower would be wraiths, 2 control towers would be dropships, which is, you know, also a really good strategy on this map to just get dropships and have a presence on the map, be able to drop down on the low ground, have your army maneuver around there. Of course, he's going to be able to get a science facility and get the science vessel at some point as well. But in the meantime, NaDa has built up a pretty decent-sized marine force, but I mean, that's why you need the dropships, because the marines are stuck in his base. Because of the nature of the geography of this map. In any case, he is building science facilities, so it looks like we are going to see science vessels. And GoRush is ahead of that game already. He's already built Scourge, and he's kind of got them out around on the map. Oh, this is like, I like this. Building the sunken colony, it is main next to his gas. I mean, NaDa is the type of player who you would definitely expect to go in and do a drop in the main or something like that, probably in multiple locations. Oh, GoRush, a little bit careless there, loses a Mutalisk to the Marines following up on that gas mine. And he's distance mining that gas, which is okay. Makes sense in this situation. He's going to be producing a lot of Marines, so the getting the command center next to the minerals is obviously much more important. He's had it there for a while too. So yeah, Scourge around on the map. There's the dropship, and there's the Scourge. Oh, he's gonna just... Oh, he's ferrying him down to the low ground. Oh, is he gonna still get the drop? He still gets the dropship. A little bit careless there. And now Mutalisk coming into the main to harass, but they're actually just gonna die. Just taking a lot of damage, running through turret fire, and then running out without attacking a single time that we saw. Oh wow. NaDa is now moving all of his barracks down to the low ground to start producing units there, and again, just try and maintain more of a map presence. Oh, this is really interesting though. GoRush has the drop capability on those overlords, and he's actually going to drop some lurkers, some nice fresh juicy lurkers down on the low ground. He's taking bases around the map as well. I think it's smart to take a base that's on the low ground part of the map. Basically, the 4 corners are the 4 islands for the spawn points, and the rest of the map has bases all over the place that are all on a contiguous low ground. I'm just gonna call it low ground because it looks low, but even though it's not technically, I don't think it's technically on a different level. I think it's just outside of these ridges. But in any case, once that makes a lot more sense for a Zerg player who wants to be more expansive on the map. And he's actually going to come in here and put some lurkers down in kind of a containment strategy. No, actually, they're not quite in a spot to contain him, but they're in a nice spot to take out some Marines as he goes in there. Science vessels are in position as well as tanks. I believe he has siege mode upgraded. So, oh, and he has a radiant upgraded already, actually. So those lurkers are going to be forced to fall back. This is turning into a bit of a crazy game. Is that another base going up in the top right for GoRush? I didn't actually see. This is so crazy. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, if GoRush wins this game, it's over. He is going to the finals of this OSL. NaDa needs to win this game to keep himself in it, to keep himself afloat in this series. So yes, GoRush is building another base in that top right island area. So he's going for a lot of economy potentially. Oh no, those Mutalisks are in a nice spot to block, or to catch rather, this dropship. Now the dropship is actually going to get to the island and start dropping off Marines. Why? Oh, he's going to run away actually instead of battling the Marines. He was doing a good job battling them one by one as they popped out, but I think he knew that he was going to lose that eventually. So GoRush is going to be forced to cancel that top right base. And at the same time, NaDa is going to be shelling the expansion on the bottom left spawn point. So, this is actually looking pretty good for NaDa at this point. That is a lot of Hydralisks though. And if those dropships encounter those Hydralisks will win. NaDa has floated another base out to try and take another expansion on the right side of his island. And the lurkers are going to say, nope. He actually kills it. Wow, that's actually kind of amazing. He's killed it. Killed that expansion base. Now, GoRush has actually taken another base at the 6 o'clock position, but I didn't even see. And he's got that 3 o'clock base that he's got up and running. I think NaDa must know about that, though. He must know about all the bases. Okay, actually, he doesn't. He didn't know about it until he crossed over the creep. Now he sees it, though. That dropship was just roaming around looking for someplace to attack. The Hydralisks are going to kill off NaDa's new command center, though, on the top position of the map. In the meantime, NaDa's going to come over here and shell, put those siege tanks in a perfect spot to start shelling. Yeah, oh, actually, is he going to save the command center? Looks like he is going to save that command center. It's burning down, but it's barely going to get repaired. Is he going to repair it? No, he doesn't repair it! Oh no, it's the ancient curse of the moving command center. When you're trying to repair it and it's moving so the SCVs can't actually repair it, sometimes you actually have to stop the movement of the command center away from the enemies in order for the SCVs to be able to attack it. And so he actually loses that command center, even though he was trying to repair it, because I think the SCVs couldn't keep up with it. In any case, but NaDa has also shelled to death this gas over here at the side, all the sunken colonies. He is just laying waste to GoRush's natural expansion. Now, GoRush doesn't seem to care. He's just like, okay, well, I'm going to take every other base on the map while you're messing around with that. And while I'm killing off your third, NaDa's going to rebuild that command center and try and float it out again. But there's a lot of Zerg forces coming in here from the side. This could be catastrophic for NaDa. A couple of radiates going down, but one of the vessels goes down in return. There are so many Hydralisks here. The Hydralisks are getting damaged by the irradiated Ultras that can't quite, lurkers that can't quite get in close enough, but there's just too many Hydras. They're gonna absolutely slaughter all of the Marines just with sheer brute force, with sheer numbers, and that is exactly what Zergs do. They use sheer numbers to outclass their opponent and outkill them, to outkill them. So it's not looking good for NaDa at all right now, actually. He's only on 2 bases. He's trying to get this third base at the sort of side position, but he only has a couple tanks. If GoRush spots that right now, he can just go in there, kill off that small medic marine force, and kill off the barracks, and that would basically be GG. There'd be nothing that NaDa could do. He'd be stuck in his main with no presence on the map while GoRush took the rest of the map. You know, then we'd see kind of similar to what we saw in that game versus Doggy on this map, where you know, he just couldn't get presence on the rest of the map, and eventually lost his force to this giant ultra defiler lurker crazy attack that, you know, once he GG'd immediately after he lost his force on the low ground because he was just starved out. And speaking of starving out, we just saw the last mineral patch finish up for NaDa right there. Those SCVs are just kind of sitting around with nothing to do now. Now NaDa has built up a substantial force though, again on the low ground area of the map, and he's sending these dropships out as well. This is important. NaDa needs to send these dropships out. Oh, hold that thought. He's going in for a lot of lurkers, going to surround those Marines. The Marines are going to fall back. The tanks are in a nice position. Can he pick off? Okay, there's only 1 tank left. I'm sorry, there's 2 tanks left. Not as many Hydras as he quite needs in order to defeat that. The radiates are going down, but oh, he's going to go over here and pick off yet another command center. NaDa is floating back to that 12 o'clock position, but he's losing another base. He really can't afford to do, but he's going to kill another base, and GoRush cannot afford this as well. Actually, I guess he can technically afford it. He's rich enough right now that with bases that he can afford to lose this base. So 1 more base is going to go down to this double dropship attack. And, I mean, that is the thing, is like, oh, and he's found the middle base as well. The middle base is a really sweet base. There's actually 2 gases there. If GoRush should be able to hold that middle base for a little while, that would have been a game-ending amount of gas. He would have been able to really get a ton of tech units out there. It would have been ridiculous, but he's not going to. NaDa is doing a really great job of, look at that, he left 1 Marine and 1 medic behind to kill off any new bases in that spot. Very nice, and he's going after this 6 o'clock base as well. This time GoRush is not going to have any of it, though. He's going to come in with his entire force and is going to be able to polish off these drops. He's probably going to be able to get the dropships as well. And yes, the dropships do go down. So, 2 bases down for GoRush, 1 base down for NaDa. GoRush is still mining. Actually, is GoRush mining at the 9 o'clock position? I don't know if he is. He's mined out his main now as well, actually. He's probably retaken his natural on his island. And it looks like on the minimap that we do have that. I think we can see that he's taken that. NaDa now taking the 12 o'clock position again. And he's got a little bit of forces to defend it this time in case of a Hydra attack. Now, speaking of Hydra attack, here we go. Hydras and Lurkers coming in to try and attack this 12 o'clock position. If he can take that out, NaDa is basically screwed. But NaDa's going to take out 6 o'clock at the same time. He says, you're going to attack me at noon, I'll attack you in the morning. and it's going to be a one-for-one trade here on the bases. But I feel like one-for-one trade on bases is good for GoRush. It's just so much easier for GoRush to take new bases, and NaDa just does not have as many right now resources. Oh no, NaDa forced to fall back again. He's trying to take middle again. The science vessels going overhead are going to spot it. I don't know if it'll matter much. He needs to get a force over there to actually kill it. So NaDa, both players, it's like both players are playing whack-a-mole basically, but they're also, you know, they're playing both the mole and the mallet. They're trying to pop up new bases all over the place while trying to kill down their other opponent's bases. A huge attack coming in here. A nice amount of lurkers, but they're all going to get irradiated. Almost all of the lurkers are going to die in moments after the irradiates finish off. He's got so many extra irradiates, he can irradiate Hydralisks as well. And actually the science vessel's getting away. I'm a little surprised that the Hydras didn't do more damage to them. NaDa losing 12 moments later, getting the sort of 10 o'clock position, 9 or 10 o'clock position back up and running after it was destroyed again an earlier time. I think NaDa has lost 3 or 4 command centers. Did you guys hear the sound that the Korean commentator just made then, by the way? He was like, brrr, it's really weird. Anyway, I'm sure I make some funny noises too, though. I'm not trying to talk smack at all. Anyway, I just get distracted sometimes by my own casting or by StarCraft. Anyway, look at that. So now he's got severe defenses over at the 10 o'clock position, 9 o'clock position. A couple bunkers. He's got a lot. He's got his whole force of science vessels there. He's got medic brains. He's putting up turrets as well, which will be very, very handy. You know, in case the science vessels need to relocate, he'll have something there for detection. Won't have to depend completely on the comm scans. Of course, it's only one turret, but you know, you could also be worried about a Mutalisk follow-up or something like that. Now, GoRush has taken the middle base, though. He's getting a second gas up and running. And if he can get that going, he'll have 4 gases. Actually, maybe 5? It looks like he has 3 o'clock back up and running as well. It's hard to tell exactly, but here's a triple dropship attack coming in for NaDa. He's got tanks and Marines. The Hydralisks take out one of the dropships before it can finish dropping out, but 2 do let out their entire load, and he is definitely dropping a load onto GoRush's plans right now with tanks and medic brains in the middle. The science vessels are in a little bit of danger. Nope, never mind, they're not in danger. The Hydras are not going to follow up, and so again, he's going to lose his natural, one of his hatcheries, I should say, not the whole expansion, because this mineral base is still mining. But he's going to lose a hatchery. He's going to lose the extractor there. So a reduction of 1 more gas. He's going to have to expend 400, minerals-ish to get that gas back up and running. Look at this. He's actually just killing off his own Hydralisks to cause the irradiation to stop, so he can continue moving with the same control group. So he does have that middle base up and running. Okay, that is huge. He's mining off 2 gases there, 1 in his main, 1 at 3 o'clock. So he's mining 4 gases at the moment, but might only be for the moment because this Marine force is threatening the middle base. Can GoRush defend it? He really needs to at this point, actually. He needs those gases right now in order to be able to stay in this game, but there's nothing there to defend it. He's got nothing. Okay, here's the force that he needs. He's got Hydralisks coming in here, but it's going to be too late. He's going to actually lose that base before he can come in with his main force and try and block that. And maybe he's worried. I think he knows that without lurkers to accompany those Hydralisks is not going to be enough to actually break that. Now we do have lurkers in play and another group of Hydralisks coming in here. Running in, he's going to try and kill off that force. I don't think NaDa cares, though. He can just fall back. He doesn't need to engage that situation. He is losing units as he retreats, though. Where can he retreat to is the question. That is a significant force on the ground for GoRush. GoRush really is hurting, though, for losing these bases over. I guess both players just losing bases constantly. I wonder if we counted up the amount of command centers and hatcheries that have been killed in this game. It would be a lot already, and the game is not over yet. Someone's gonna lose another base before the end of the game. That's for sure, because that's how you win games, is by killing your opponent's bases. Hive is up. The Hive is up. Very curious to see what kind of Hive tech we're gonna see. We're gonna see Defilers. We're gonna see Ultralisks. I think if he had those middle base with the 2 gases, we'd see both. But I don't know if we're going to see both in this situation. Here we go. NaDa needs this base. He's going in for a lot of Hydras, the Lurkers as well, doing significant damage. And the Force is not here. NaDa is going to come in from the side and sandwich this Force, though. He's going to lose. GoRush is going to lose everything. He's going to lose all of his Hydralisks and his Lurkers. But doesn't matter because he's actually going to kill off all of NaDa's stuff in the meantime as well. And the SCVs are actually going to escape. That's significant. Actually, is GoRush going to lose it? Maybe he's not. Well, with the radiates and the tanks, I think he is. Definitely with that many tanks, those Hydras. Oh, never mind. I didn't realize there was the bridge on the south part there. He's going to be able to escape out the south. So the SCVs escape out the north bridge. The Hydralisks escape out the south bridge. And it's not a mutual annihilation pocket, after all. But it's still pretty decent loss for NaDa, lose that base. It's now down to basically 1 base mining. At the 12 o'clock position, but because I believe his natural has mined out as well. We saw it earlier with just 1 patch. And oh, those tanks, what are those tanks doing? Where were they? They were in the wrong part of town. This was Hydralisk country, and anyway, I was trying to remember the quote from the Hearthstone units that say, "This is our town, beat it," or something like that. But I couldn't remember exactly what they said. But in any case, NaDa is going back to his strategy of taking out these side bases. I mean, that's one of the beautiful things about the Terran attack style is you can be just obnoxious with taking these dropships and just running them around the map. This is such a huge map. NaDa can basically just kind of dance around the map and send random dropships around to corners. And it's just so difficult for GoRush to be present on the map, especially without Mutalisks right now. It would be too much of a gas investment for him to try and make a bunch of Mutalisks. Now Scourge is another story. Actually, there's some Mutalisks. What were those Mutalisks doing? Anyway, hold that thought. He's going in for the kill. If GoRush can take out this 12 o'clock base, he will win the game, but NaDa's defenses are strong. The Science Vessel's going in and soaking up some damage from the Hydras, but losing several in order to get our radiates down, and it looks like NaDa is going to be able to defend. There's just not enough Zerg stuff. The Hydralisks are not Zerglings, and they're not Defilers, is the key. If he had Defilers in that attack, I think he wins the game, but instead he falls back. He's just doing mass Hydralisks with Lurkers as well. I'm not sure why he's not making a Defiler mound and going for the Dark Swarm tech. That would be something that could secure him this game pretty easily. Of course, Zerglings under Dark Swarm are really good because they can attack while not being able to be hit. But if you can get Dark Swarms on your Hydras and your Lurkers in a spot where you're not protecting the Marines as well, then that can also be deadly. So I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing to have the Defilers with the Hydralisk, with the Hydralisks in play, especially with Lurkers to accompany, And in any case, NaDa's trying to take that top right base now. He's given up on taking the low ground bases near his base. Well, maybe not giving up, I should say, but he's going to try a different tactic, and he's going to try and take that top right base. I think he knows that it's going to be pretty difficult for, look at this, he's just roaming around the map with his Science Vessel force, trying to find things to irradiate. A little bit in danger, though. He loses 1 vessel as a trade, but he's going to be able to provide cover for his Marines to run in and kill that center base, and he's just still getting off more irradiates. He's actually going to fall back. He doesn't want to get that Marine group kind of boxed in, I think. He wants to make sure he has room to maneuver. If he gets cut off with that group, then it's not going to be good for him. He's losing a few units as he retreats, but he needs to get into a spot where he can maneuver out. Because if you get cornered by Lurkers, you're just going to lose your units. Look at that. See, yeah, he's totally mined out in his main island on both the main and the natural expansions there. Putting down a bunker, I think, is a solid idea at the top right base, because he knows that okay, there's the Defiler mount finally. He knows that GoRush has the ability to drop as well, and so if he gets island bases, GoRush can just as easily drop a group of Lurkers and Hydras and kill off a base, just like NaDa can send a dropship for little Marines out around and kill a base pretty easily. Because it's just so difficult to defend those islands and those different expansions around the map. It's just such an expansive map. Oh, he actually floated his main command center. He's like, I'm sick of building command centers and getting them killed off. I'm just going to use one I already have. In any case, those vessels are doing work. Those vessels are doing a lot of work. Lots of irradiates going down, killing off so many lurkers and hydralisks as well. It looks like he might have stopped vessel production or slowed it down because he's still at like 6, and it seems like he's been at 6 for a while, although it could just be that he's losing vessels like that and then not regaining them. A big battle going down here. I think GoRush needs to push forward a little bit because some of his hydros are running around in the back, not getting work done. The lurkers come in from the side and do a pincher, sort of a perpendicular pincher, I guess. He's going to take out all of those Marines. Oh my goodness, GoRush has killed off the bulk of NaDa's force, but what has NaDa macroed up in the background in the meantime is the question. He's got nothing. It looks like he doesn't have anything. If GoRush counterattacks right now, he might win the game and the series and advance to the finals. But NaDa is, I mean, Terran is the defense race. It's the race of defending. And so it would not be, it would still be difficult to break in there, especially I think if he's got Defiler tech on the way, he might want to just wait for that. I don't think GoRush knows about that top right base, by the way. Otherwise, I think he'd probably be trying to do something about it. In any case, okay, yeah, okay, never mind. He knows about it. He's gonna drop that spot. He's not even gonna go and drop on top of the Marines. He's gonna drop away from them so he can have all of his units out of the Overlords and then go in for an attack. There's only one bunker there. He's building a second bunker and he's building 2 barracks, but they're not gonna be up in time. Here he goes. He even realized that he cancels it, and this base is gonna go down. The second bunker finishes right as the Marines finish dying. So that is all gonna die, and the SCVs are like, let's go over here, it might be safe. Wait. He's gonna try and repair the command center, maybe? I'm not sure what he's doing there, but anyway, that base is gonna go down. Command center's gonna die. NaDa, once again, in a little bit of dire straits, and there's Defilers out now as well. NaDa has been kept to so few bases. Taking out that top right base is actually a huge deal. NaDa's gonna try and counter though by taking out the middle base, and GoRush can, I think, afford to lose the middle more than NaDa can afford to lose the top right, but he still doesn't want to. If he keeps that middle, it will secure the game for him, I think, with those 2 gas mines. NaDa really needs to win this battle. He's actually built up a lot of tanks. That's actually a significant number of tanks. A little surprising he didn't make more tanks before, given the amount of Hydras that were in play. There's a single medic there, by the way. That's kind of interesting. He's only built a single medic. He's spending all of his gas on tanks. Can't afford the medics. Oh, wait. Is he gonna... He kept a Marine and a medic in that bottom right position just for this exact eventuality. Oh no. GoRush is gonna go ahead and drop those Hydras on the expansion base while he goes in with his main force as well. If NaDa loses this, he will definitely be out of the game. He won't have any mining left. He's coming in with a ton of Hydras, but in the meantime, NaDa is just going for the counterattack. He's not going to try and save his own base. I think he's going to try and take the 9 o'clock base instead, but he's going to lose 12 o'clock. And that is huge. It's the only place he's mining right now. How is he going to survive in this game without that base? He's going to lose it. It goes down. The tanks were not in position to move and defend. They were attacking the middle. Now GoRush has lost. Okay, he has built. Okay, I think he just recently got that 9 o'clock base up and running again. So he is mining technically, but he is so vulnerable. Now these tanks are in between those Hydras and the 9 o'clock base. But that doesn't matter. That's exactly where those Hydras are going to go. The Defilers are in play. The Dark Swarm goes down. He's going to get Lurkers underneath the Swarm as well. The tanks are so strong, though, that, oh, I think he's going to be forced to fall back. The Irradiate's going down as well. Irradiate does work under Swarm. He needs to get an Irradiate down on that, the Defiler. But the Hydras are there. Actually, I think the Hydras are on move command, so they missed an opportunity to take out a vessel or 2. Only 1 Dark Swarm there. If he has maybe 3 Defilers and, you know, places continual swarms moving forward and has some lings along with that, I think that turns into a different story, but it doesn't quite have it. But again, we see there, the Hydra's still, you know, the splash damage still happens under the Swarm. So that many tanks is just still deadly. But Hydra's under Swarm, the Marines were basically useless. They had to fall back behind the tanks. And so very nicely done. My GoRush has a huge army though. If he could just beat NaDa's army once right now, if he can somehow take out those tanks, then, you know, he'll be able to take out 9 o'clock and secure the victory. NaDa's not out of this yet, though. He took out the middle base, which is very important. Although GoRush still has 6 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and 3 o'clock up and running. So he's got at least 3 gases, probably 4 gases. The gas may be mined out in his main by now, which is going to lower the amount of gas intake at that point. He actually waited for that hatchery to finish before going into attack, which means that he can actually spawn lings there and kill off that marine, theoretically, or Hydralisk might be more likely. What is going on here? He's distance mining. The drones, the extractor never died, and the drones were still mining that spot, so he's distance mining that. I'm so sorry. I just realized this. The 6 o'clock position is mineral only, so he doesn't have a gas there actually. So the only gas that he's mining is he mining gas? Now I'm wondering if 3 o'clock has gas. Maybe 3 o'clock doesn't have gas either. I might just be completely wrong. So he actually might have been functioning on less gas this entire time than I expected. In which case, my apologies for not seeing that. So now without the middle base, that's actually, okay, that is actually crippling. That is actually crippling to GoRush. Without gas, he can't produce the high-tech units that he needs. And in fact, we don't see any defilers with this army, do we? It's just Hydras and Lurkers. This is the same kind of Hydra Lurk army that he's been nursing the whole time. But he's got so many of them, though. The Dark Swarms go down on top of the Marines, but it's actually good enough with the Lurkers there. It's not a mistake this time. Sometimes we've seen a lot of mistake swarms where you actually swarm in a spot that protects the Marines, but with the Lurkers underneath, the Lurkers can deal damage underneath the swarms, whereas the Marine can't. So if you get those Lurkers underneath, they will be able to kill off the Marines. But there's so many tanks, that the splash damage, the tanks don't care. They don't care that their primary attack is missing. They're still going to be able to do enough splash damage to just do a lot of obliteration even underneath the swarm. In any case, now NaDa pushing down the middle of the map. Okay, so things are actually looking kind of bad for GoRush. Now that I realize that he's actually not mining much gas at all, things are not looking good at all for him. He's persisting with the Hydralisks, though, which is interesting. Okay, we do have a Defiler in play, trying to meet up with that army on the side. Like, he's not making lings, so he's actually having to consume Hydralisks, I think, to get enough energy. That medic is like Lieutenant Spears of medics right there, just walking through enemy lines, and the enemies are so confused that they're just like ignoring it. They're like, wait, what? Why would a medic be here? Okay, so we do have a gas up for GoRush, but it looks like only 1 right now, plus the expended gases in his main area. Okay, no. Okay, so yeah. So this is the equivalent base at 9 o'clock. Okay, so there is a gas at 3, just as there's 1 at 9. This is a massive army pushing out for NaDa, and it looks like he's actually not going for an attack right now. Looks like he's just kind of patrolling back and forth. He wants to make sure he doesn't lose 9, while also securing 12. So he's kind of patrolling his forces back and forth. He wants to make sure he's not out of position. Oh, look at that. Massive radiates going down. The Scourge are going to answer, but the Marines are going to answer the answer. No Scourge landing in this situation. Alright, so, GoRush still on very low gas though, so he's still kind of, you know, on a skeleton crew here as far as the tech units go. He still managed to build up a lot of Lurkers. And of course the Hydralisks take gas as well, which is, you know, one of the reasons why we see Zerglings usually in ZVT play is because the Zerglings don't take up any gas, so you can use your gas on units like Lurkers or Defilers or whatever. There are a few lings there. Those might just be consumables. Those might be Lurker energy. I'm sorry, Defiler energy. Oh! NaDa's taking the middle base. He better cancel it. Okay, he does cancel it. There's an extractor right there, buddy. He can see you. Okay, NaDa now has another dropship roaming around looking for bases to kill. Again, he doesn't really know where the bases are, but it doesn't really matter because GoRush needs to have his army kind of in the middle-ish of the map. So running this dropship around the outskirts of the map is pretty safe. Actually, a little surprised GoRush doesn't have Scourge in play in good positions to do that. Oh, a nice plague goes off on most of the vessels. The Hydralisks in play mean that the vessels are going to be in grave danger now. Oh, a nice little attack here. NaDa is trying to push in, but he's going to lose some tanks as a result. Where's the follow-up swarm? Another swarm goes down. The Lurkers are going to go in underneath that swarm, and the tanks are in a line. The Lurkers are going to be able to do massive damage on those tanks, killing off all but a few in the back. Wow, that was a huge loss, but tit for tat going on here. That dropship has found its spot to land, and it's going to drop forces down here in the bottom. He's actually going to pick up some drones in an Overlord and then let the Overlord die to make it more efficient killing for those Marines. Actually, did the Overlord escape? Looks like maybe the Overlord did escape. That's kind of weird. But that base is going to go down. You know, we're not seeing the use of NaDa's networks, which is interesting. That might be a good way for him to try and defend these side bases. Of course, NaDa could just pop the network pretty quickly if he got the drop down quick enough. But anyway, oh no, he can't lose these tanks. Defiler's going in for swarms to protect the Lurkers. The Hydralisk coming in as well. He's going to take out all of those tanks. NaDa is in deep trouble now without those tanks in play, and with his vessels going down after being plagued and getting hit by Hydralisks. This might be, I know I've said this multiple times this game, but this might be the end, because I don't know how NaDa stops this force, and the answer is he just has a bunch more stuff after all. Look at this, he actually has built another command center in the middle, but off to the side, so he can mine that extra gas. And he's going to take out the extra base at the bottom right spawn as well. GoRush is just not defending his side bases at all. NaDa is just getting free kills on these side bases over and over again. Oh no! No, GoRush, I didn't realize that GoRush is actually mined out and GoRush is mined out at 6. He's lost bottom right. He can't get top right. He's lost the middle. GoRush is actually not mining right now. GoRush no, he's mining at the 3 o'clock position only. 3 o'clock position only. But still, only one mining base is not where you want to be. Of course, NaDa is only at, well, NaDa's at 2 mining bases. And this extra mining gas in the middle, in kind of a weird spot. Which is probably going to go down very soon, if he spots it. He does spot it. Hydra's going to go to work. That command center is going to go down. So NaDa losing another command center this game. I haven't been keeping track, but it's been a lot. It's probably been like, I think probably 7 or 8 command centers and like 10 hatcheries have died this game. Absolutely ridiculous. Just the back and forth. And you know, it's interesting that it's the construction of this map is what's causing this back and forth. It's so hard to defend the side attacks that neither player can defend their bases. Of course, the middle base has been in contention as well. That's easier to defend, but oh, look at this. NaDa was going to try and float a command center to the top right base, and it's going to get taken out. So, just put another notch on the scoreboard for the base removals. Okay, this might be it though. Hold that thought. We got a lot of forces coming in here. NaDa looks like he has enough to defend, but he might lose his tanks. The Lurkers are underneath Dark Swarm. The tanks are immobilized, and he doesn't have quite enough tanks. Oh, one tank walking in. Oh no, he's actually gonna siege up in a spot where he still dies to that Lurker. So a little bit of mistakes here by NaDa. Can he hold this? If he can hold this, I think NaDa might actually take the game, because right now, like I said, GoRush is barely mining. If NaDa can hold this, he'll be able to continue mining. He'll be able to macro up a lot better. And it looks like for the moment he is going to hold. There's just not many Hydralisks left. The tanks have slowly and steadily obliterated the Hydralisk count. The Lurkers are still numerous though. But the Plague plus the Hydras have taken out so many of the... oh, he's going in, trying to get close enough to hit that command center. The Marine's doing some damage, but he is close enough. He's going to get that command center. A single Zergling joining the fray as well. The Lurkers are in a nice spot to protect against Marines, while the Hydralisks kill off the command center, and the Zerglings go after the SCVs that are trying desperately to repair it. He is going to this time stop the command center from moving, and mass repair. Well, he goes in with the Marines to try and protect it. If he can protect it, that would be huge, but the Lurkers are too strong, and they're going to drive the Marines back again. The command center is saved for the moment, but there's still a handful of Hydras there. The Hydras are looking like they want to run away, though. A couple Zerglings are in the middle, taking out this, once again, gas mine. And NaDa is actually mining the gases there and not the minerals. You know, he needs the tanks, he needs the vessels. When you have the late game, when you're in the super late game, the units that are the most efficient are the ones that are the most important. So the science vessels are actually the most important units. So mining that gas makes a lot of sense for NaDa right now. But he's going to lose yet another command center to the Hydralisks. It's funny how Hydras can attack air. So, you know, if it's just Lings and Lurkers, you can't actually lift the command center to save it. I mean, you can lift the command center to save it, but Hydras, they'll still kill it. Looks like the command center might survive though, but in the meantime, he's forced out of this position and it can't be mining from it. The Lurkers are going to slowly go down, so he might be able to retake that position. Actually, I'm actually surprised that we don't, because he has been mining gas, that we haven't seen more science vessels being created. We're seeing GoRush's point of view for a moment. He's fanning out his overlords, kind of looking around the map, just kind of trying to scout around to see what's going on. And oh, did you see that look on his face? That was the look of defeat, ladies and gentlemen. That is the look that you see. Oh, and he's dancing his overlord. GG! NaDa has done it! NaDa has saved himself from a 3-0 defeat in the semifinal against who has been his nemesis for the last couple months. May not be his nemesis in general, but GoRush and NaDa have been playing so many games against each other. A sigh of relief from NaDa. He just played the map so well in the long run that he was able to just basically play better whack-a-mole and take out more of GoRush's bases. GoRush just could not keep his bases mining. Now, see, that's the thing, is if that is a normal map or a smaller map, I think GoRush wins that from the position he was in the mid game, just having you know, a little bit of map control, but he just couldn't protect his side bases at all. And NaDa was able to exploit that and just kept consistently dropping around the map and attacking in the middle with the tanks. Playing such beautiful map awareness and just taking out bases left and right and making it so that GoRush could never quite get, he'd never quite got that 4 gas, the stable 4 gas that he needed to really pump out the tech units and take control of the map and the game. And even though he lost his own bases so many times, he took out more of GoRush's. Just beautiful play. Absolutely amazing game. An epic game, and NaDa has now pulled it to a 2-1 deficit instead. He still has to win 2 more games in a row if he's going to make it to the finals, which is still a tall order indeed. It's very, very rare for reverse all kills, for reverse sweeps to happen. Can NaDa pull it off? We'll find out in game number 4 if he can do it. It's going to be on Alchemist. Wow. Amazing series. These guys are so well matched. It's just so fun to watch these two guys, you know, basically the top of the top in 2005. The fact that they were both in the MSL finals, you know, just a couple weeks before this means that they are in top form, ladies and gentlemen. Here they are in the semifinals of the OSL. Absolutely amazing rematch. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. GG.